Got you betcha. What up? All right. We have a lot to talk about. All right. Now, few things that happened, right? Now, it's funny because I've been telling myself this for like 2, 3 days now. I'm like, I'm supposed to be on vacation. I need to like get off the computer. Luckily, it was kind of like I look like fucking, what the fuck is going on? Like, anyway, like this stuff here, right? I wanted to go skateboarding, but I was like, you know what? I just can't unsee the move. And this is the thing about algorithms, right? If we understand the marketplace does the same thing day in and day out, especially being like a Friday, right? Um, the nature of the TG setup, when you're looking at this move here, and right when I gave this to my Discord, it really wasn't that difficult. It's not hard. Now, did I expect off rip 3,000 plus ticks? No, it wasn't off rip. But what I'm saying is, when you again operate liquidity the way that you're supposed to, and you see again, I'm on a 1 hour chart. Okay. So, what I'm trying to do, right, is explain to you that if all this is a narrative, it's a story, it's a theater performance, like all this stuff is like, why do you think it's down here like this? You get what I mean? Like them leaving the most obvious lows on the planet. You get what I'm saying? Right? And so when you come down and you realize that like all of these awkward, and we'll go to 4 hour secrets here too. You see my point, right? So weak, low. There's so many of these weak lows. And this is up here, and we'll get to that. But really, like, what I mean, right? We've been bullish for a minute now. Yeah. Okay. Captain Obvious. And let's see, according to, I had to pull out the iPad real quick. So, according to, ah, you're going to think this is all just current, random. Oh, there was nothing to indicate, oh, we can go this far, or no, dude. It's on the fucking screen, is basically what I'm trying to say. Everybody wants to sit there and glaze goldback levels. You want to glaze advanced concepts that I can give or provide for you. But the problem is, you're not spending enough time on just basic liquidity. What? And it's unfortunate because when you're looking at stuff like this and people say, dude, I'm so confused. I have no idea where we're going right now. I guarantee you, if you just go and this is why my weeks are separated because I separate versions of liquidity. You get what I'm saying? So for all of my targeting here, and this is why I went to sleep in the middle of the trade because there's nothing else to do. Once you understand order flow, and the little thing about order flow, like I say to my students all the time, I'm speaking about order flow. Okay. So realistically, what I'm trying to say is yes, you do not have to panic after every single low is broken. Okay. And yes, I understand we have some increased volatility because we talked about Trump today, him speaking about the tariffs on China. There was also a lot of news about government shutdown, therefore stocks are dumping. So a lot of these like parallels that you can find like in the news and in your chart, algorithmically, these things are planned weeks in advance, months in advance. And I'm telling you, right? It's funny that they just announced, like we just talked about, government shutdown. Okay? And if the whole market in place is completely played on liquidity, right? Why are these weird ass lows engineered exactly like this? You go right down with no resistance. Something I wanted to share with you as well. Okay? I can do this for free. And like I said, I have some gems that I saved directly for mentorship. Like, there's plenty of content I will never speak to you about on this channel. And so, Q4 mentorship starts this upcoming week, right? I mean, although I'll be moving around and whatnot, we'll still have like the same schedule. So, coming down here, right? Again, you see these lows are engineered by the week, right? So, the reason why I care about all this stuff, right? We've talked about day theory in depth. So that means again, MDX, XAMD. Okay. So the reason why this is like super important to me and like why you can get actually like a little deeper into the concept itself. I take things that I take a lot of these concepts, right? Whether it be ICT, Hoppy, day theory. I've been through so much content. But the thing is, right? Always try to add your own little spin to it. So what I've done personally, right? I always thought about this it at first anyway. Yes, we have 4 weeks, right? But we also have 5 days. So I didn't like how we covered four parts of a cycle, which is understandable. But at the same time, I wanted to add one extra letter, right? So when we speak about the Friday in general, if there's only four parts to this, being like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, what do you do to categorize the Friday? Like, what do you do? Go to add an extra letter. So what you could do is, right, you notice how it's obviously it's like a restart kind of thing. In X, or if you want to call it D, I mean, it doesn't really matter. We talked about this, right? How he should have just put DAMD or whatever the case is. Um, your Friday, however, right? Let's go down here and check this out. And get me out the fucking way. I'm all in the way. Realistically, right? You're looking at like Monday through Friday, okay? Solid. Label it for you. Now, this is my thing. Yes, you have in order. So when you're looking at it like this, right? You're seeing how a lot of these go like obviously in order for your cycle. But when you get to a Friday, you're trying to figure out like what it's supposed to do. Okay. This is for me a reaccumulation, of course, which is why I look at it like that. So that's why when you have these like Friday to Monday kind of situations, you already kind of have what you want to do for that Monday actually. So what that means is XAMD or AMDX, you're just going to add an extra letter to it. Okay. So that means Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then Friday could be a day, or you just might have an XAMD. Now, this is the thing, right? If you have an XAMD, it's a lot easier to expect that. Does that make sense? Okay. Very rare that we have like another extra D in a row, like a fifth one. But this is why when you see it, right? Understand where a lot of people have that kind of like they kind of freak out about this kind of thing. Like whether it's a certain cycle, right? If you just understand the narrative or the bias, it's not a big point to freak out. But in general, though, the reason why this is so important, and like I said, we caught over. Hold on, we gotta measure this because my whole thing was about midnight. So when we're looking at this area here, and we can measure it, bro, we caught almost 5,000 ticks. We caught over 5,000 ticks, my guy, and it's sick because when you're going into the Discord, I think it was like a shout out my guy Honey Bear because he snapped. My guy literally left open a sell limit and accidentally got himself in this move and didn't even know it. So he ends up making $1,000 plus just because he is a smart guy. Yo, shout out to you, my guy. But I'm really, really proud of my Discord, bro. I'm so proud of you guys because you caught. If I don't know if you guys caught it, the entire 46. I know you guys caught at least 3K with me before I fell asleep. But however, when we're looking at this type of thing right here, right? Again, you see how your Friday is like a D cycle, right? Mm, this is what I'm talking about, right? What do we see? AMDXD. That's why I added another fucking cycle to it. I just didn't like how there was four parts. It's not that simple. It's not that complicated. So, long story short, right here, right? What do you think we end up doing here? Right? Watch this. What do we do to our Monday? Cycle. Bit. Destroyed. What do you do for your Tuesday? M cycle. A. M. And so when I gave the play on Wednesday, right? We're going to start there. So this is our core framework. And again, I'm just giving it out to everybody. It's very easy. But it's funny because all the stuff that I give you in mentorship just turns you into a monster. So I could just give you the basic framework because again, nobody hardly fucking listens to what the fuck I gotta say anyway, right? So long story short, I've already given you like why we care about 90-minute cycles or 90-day cycles or 90-second cycles, however you'd like to define it, right? Now, when you're looking at this, right? See the lighter, but god damn it. We gotta switch our location. Let's see. There we go. We got to go find. No. Funny man, because again, the reason why this is M, this is D. Just telling you like literally is candy what? Oh my God. We got like we ate like what? When Well, I fell asleep earlier. Like, I'll take an edible and smoke a blunt, and we'll be trading and shit. But bro, I'm telling you, man, trading's not hard. I say this to you all the time. You need to get to a point where, and you see the first thing I did for them, guys. A today's gonna be M, and then I cared about your D cycle, and this is what brought my attention, right? So going into it, I totally get where the common person might look at the A and they're going to say, you know what? Damn, I do see what J means. Now I'll turn these off for a moment. E-cycle just engineers all of your liquidity to the very top and the very bottom. So that's why it's no problem taking out both of these like significantly. Okay. And even coming down here, I totally get where this Friday low, again, they saved it for us. Okay. Pay attention to things like that. And like I said, we're talking about basic liquidity first. Okay. And so you know I was about to roll up, my guy. Anyway, but like, where's my? Well, I've been smoking Ripper OG Kush, but nah, we smoking Special Ops right now. Special Ops is a damn, it's 33% THC. What the fuck? Anyway, but long story short, I need you to get to a point where you're not confused on liquidity. And yes, I totally get where you're going to feel like you're at that stage still where everything to you is an entry instead of you narrating. And I've talked about this before. So I've given you the script in order. Now I've talked about how like your Judas swing will lead you into your 2 to 5. Your 2 to 5 will make a high or a low. That will then lead you right into your New York. What New York is responsible for, right? And oh my God, when I tell you these bitches are so fast acting, like, oh my God. Woo. I feel it already. But even like dog, when I tell you, hold on. I'm gonna tell you a little story in a moment. I'll tell you at the end, but like I took these fucking like I was in Uber, but like I took some of these edibles before I got on the plane to Atlanta. When I tell you, I literally felt like I was on mushrooms, dog. It was so intense. And even for me, like I said, I smoke dog. But like, yeah, I took way too many edibles before the fucking plane, dog. I was in TSA tripping, dog. Oh my fucking God. I know not to do that shit again. Like, I mean, not the amount of edibles I had. I take edibles every time. But I am not taking 4 or 5 of them bitches before the airport. Fuck, that shit had me internally screaming. Anyway, so my whole point for you to again, it's not just about where's my entry. And I totally get where a lot of people have that mentality still. But in this area down here, this is what I'm specifically trying to show you, okay? I'm showing you. This little awkward little thing down here. They leave you liquidity so they can show you what they're going to do. The marketplace is constantly showing you what they're on. Okay. So, especially when it comes to, like I said, the script here, they come down and give you these awkward session lows. And again, you can separate your day high, day low, week high, week low, session high, and session low. And so when you're looking for turtle soup or you're looking to work a 1 day algorithm or a 1 week algorithm, it's not difficult. You just need to realize that it's all about liquid. So that means when they're coming in and they're right in this area, Okay. It's as simple as I say it all the time. You have one day taken out a Tuesday taken out a Monday, or a Wednesday getting taken out by a Thursday, like something simple like that. I guarantee you, go and find the literal closest liquidity to you. I care so much about session data. You're going to talk to me about a high time frame PD array, and I care less about it. Yes, they're there. We could find it. I can show you how to use it. But the problem is trying to keep a consistent framework, and you guys are intraday traders anyway. The reason why I care way more about, again, look at these liquidity. Okay. So you notice that like these lows, obviously I talk about Asia all the time. Asia, I feel the shit in my eyes. I literally feel like fucking put it that way. Anyway, so when I'm looking at stuff like this, right? All this equal liquidity, right? I've been trying to get you to do this type of shit. Yes, I can show you that there is a way and a reason to participate in this buy. Let's put it that way, okay? If you're a London trader, yes, you have like a time window, 4 entries, okay? But in that time window, they're doing two things for you. They're making liquidity for later on the day, and they're also trying to give you the function of the session. So once they drive it up, they take liquidity in New York. You need to flip your mentality and say, you know what? Why is this still down here? Is this still down here? Do you know where I'm going with this? You can either take this by itself and you're aiming for that you get what I mean. And you get a little extra. You might not even actually plan to get this high. You might that only planned this buy side liquidity pool and probably Asia's high. You end up taking this PM session high in New York. But I tell you guys all the time that these things run on timers. So me speaking about these timers, okay? And again, I respect my students, so I'm not going to give you as much detail as I give them, but I respect you guys too. So my thing about these timers, bro, whether it be session function, these run on certain timers. They start and stop at a certain time. So that means whatever direction is tied to these functions do not stop until a certain time. Do you get where I'm going with this? Dude, I'd be fucking fried, bro. Like, and it's funny because I really appreciate like my Discord, and I've met so many people who, and like I said, I don't have an interest in like teaching everybody. It's not the thing. I'm really into people who care about algorithms, like precision. Like, again, I'm a gamer. You ever played Uncharted? And I don't like being in the fucking wild, dude. I like everything to be calculated. So that means every time I get you guys to even view the chart, do you see that I keep the same consistent kind of conversation? And I totally get to where every time I make a fucking video, you're gonna want me to talk about some insanely just advanced shit for no fucking reason. Oh, this is boring. Give me the gem. Give me the gem. I am. Biz, you don't listen. I said it a lot, don't I? True. You heard me. You do. Look at my hands. You already know what that means. The whole point is you being able to separate liquidity, you need to be intentional. So if you take this London buy, that's one trade up to this liquidity. You're done. You're not going to be so fixated on, oh, well, it's already going up. Oh, okay. Well, all right. That's it. No, you understand what liquidity looks like and where it's formed. And like I said, look at the shape of this. And we never even took Asia. And Asia is literally like, let's be real about this, right? On the back end. Or actually, I'll say like yeah, the back end, right? Because we're talking about the front end. The front end is stuff that we, the user, is what we need to be worried about on technicals, okay? Visually or however we need to be trading, right? On the back end, what I mean by that is like who actually coded this algorithm, coded Asia to be liquidity. That's like the first ever version of the algorithm. It's coded to be sell side liquidity, which is why during the day, 9 times out of 10, you see we go right through this thing. It's like a pipeline. Like they will go right past this bitch. They take it here, take the buy side, and come back and take that low. You get what I mean? So if you're in New York here and you're looking at all this extra, like I talk about reactions a lot. I need you guys to be a perfect balance between predictive and reactive. These elbows kicking in like fucking man right now. I'm gonna be fucking now. I can't fall asleep because we got to my girl comes back and we gotta watch Spider Man. So until she get back, we're chilling and we going smoke a few blunts before she get back. But I'm sure she'll wake me up if I do fall asleep though, because she still wants to watch the shit too. But yo, 1994 Spider Man, dog. It is one of the best Spider Man shows of all time. And like, if you actually read about it, like the production of it and stuff like that, like, bro, it is incredible. But also, another thing is when you're really looking at stuff like this, I totally get where like I speak about session data a lot and like why it's so important. It's as important as Mary Jane to Peter Parker. You know what I mean? So realistically, also, I want you to get to a mode where, like, again, simple framework, midnight. I speak about this all the time. When you're trading New York, I'm telling you right now, you need bias. I can handle it for you in 10 seconds. You're either above midnight or you're below it. What are you doing if you're above it? You sell that thing. And again, we talked about the turtle soup here. Okay. Simple and easy. And you just aim for your lows. Also, and let's get to some of this super gem over here. What do you see every single day? Midnight, higher. Okay. And the funny part is, what did I say? They left this here for you, right? We talked about that. Now watch. Let's check out these ranges. Okay. Now you're going to notice something. Let's pop this on. Yeah. We're going to go. No, this is the thing about this. Um, just because I want to give you gem and I gem it up for you all the time. Now, again, right? We're on the 729. Okay. The reason why I wanted to show you that, and you see how big this liquidity void is? Yeah. Now, if you needed a name for it, that's what this is called. Okay. Super huge move like this, it's called a liquidity void. But again, look at the week. Okay. Look at the week. You see where all your liquidity was engineered. So the same way I showed you on that session data to handle that Tuesday, right? And how you're saying, oh, well, what the fuck? Like, we took nothing here and just went straight the fuck. Yes, I totally get that. You have 1 day bullish. Yes. And what do we do? We finally end up taking out all of this buy side here. You make this high here in Asia. Okay. But the problem is, what was already engineered for you the entire fucking time? That's what I've been trying to say, right? So this right here, this was already set in stone. Whether they're giving it to you based on, hey, Trump just said something, blah blah blah, so random. Oh, we happen to just randomly say this today, and oh, that's not random. I totally get where it sucks that they talk about the government shutdown. That was like obviously 10, 11 days ago. Um, but nah, dude, some of this stuff is like literally, it was already engineered for you, is what I'm trying to say. But when you're looking at versions of like how to participate, and like I said, the framework is the same. So the same way that people ask me like how we got into this today was this simple, dog. It was this simple. I literally said, yo, guys, you have a turtle soup here. And it started because, yo, I appreciate my guy because he asked me about ES, right? So basically, while looking at ES, this is what I gave them. Okay. So as we were popping up over here, right, and I'm looking at it, it's 9:50 in the morning. So at this first macro, what's the first thing we do? Displacement. 2022 model. Simple, right? It's funny because don't let me distract you. I don't want you to feel like, if you're just learning, right? I keep saying this is simple. It's simple with practice. Like you have to practice. Bro, I got 10 years of this. You know what I mean? That's why I could sit here and eat edibles and talk to you about funny shit. But like, this is why when we talk about like gaps and things like that, right? It's not about just any fucking gap. Everybody still has this thing where you're getting scared about every buy side gap when we're not even buy side. You're getting scared about every gap that's sell side when we are sell side. Lord, it's unfortunate. Yeah, I was really blunt for a second. When I tell you, like, nah, dude, edibles already, they're so fast acting. Like, I don't even know how they do that, man. Like I said, I still didn't take as many as I did before the airport. I was thinking like, damn, they're only small, like troches or whatever. They're like 20 milligrams, a little like little square piece or whatever. So my dumb ass take like 100 and fucking. Oh yeah, I was fried. I was fucking fried, dog. And it's not that long of a plane ride from where I was at to Atlanta. Like it's as quick as going to New York. I'm in New York all the time. Foot is a little like I'd let my foot heal and whatnot. I was talking about that earlier. But foot heal. And it's doing way better. Like I'm fine. But I want to go skating tomorrow. I don't know where I want to visit my guy in Brooklyn before I go out to California, but I don't know if we'll have time. But long story short is when we're looking at some of this data right here, right? First things first is displacement. So when you have stuff like this, and I tell you guys all the time, if the marketplace is coded on liquidity, right? That's the first thing it gives a fuck about. What is it giving you every time, all the time? And it's funny just because um I used to get really annoyed by this because, and no disrespect to him, but I had a student, he used to just low key just ask me like this the same question like just every day. Like, yo, how do you know what liquidity is the liquidity? How do you know they're making new liquidity versus showing you these are new lows or something? I'd be like, bro, you don't see this big ass fucking gap on the screen. Hmm. Interesting. But it's not even that. We talked about what? Turtle soup. Okay. So that means, yes, we took out a previous high. And what do we do in this entire area? And again, like I said, I do not want to see you guys marking buy side arrays in a sell side market or sell side order flow. Fuck that. Now I tell you guys this all the time. The marketplace is snitching on itself constantly. It is. You can literally open your laptop and go to a 3 or a 5 minute chart and see that this is sell side. Look at this. And we sold right at 10 a.m., right at 10 o'clock in the morning. And so once we took that entry right here, right? Went outside, got some backwoods, came back. I let them know, yo, we're making new liquidity. What I really, really liked were these weird ass lows down here. I said, bro, what? No, I'm not leaving that open. The fuck? Out of your mind. So this is what I'm trying to say, right? We spent way too much time under midnight down here. But watch this, right? This right here is exactly like they were in buys, right? So I got them out of buys. They got paid off that, and then I got them right into sells. That's what's important. Because I like to, again, all these things are separate. So you have, again, Judah swing, 2 to 5. Then you got pre New York. Then you got all your liquidity building or your open float. All your little pockets of open float. Oh, don't get me started. But anyway, we'll talk about how, again, liquidity being made is all over the fucking place. And it's all short term. You're thinking too much. And also, I totally get where other people give a fuck about SMT. I personally don't give a fuck about it. Do I know how to use it? Of course, I teach it. But the problem is, right? Yes, you get the same exact setup. It's the same setup. So we did NASDAQ the same way. So got into yes. And as soon as, like I said, right? Do you see that? 10 o'clock. That's the same high, dude. It's the same one. But this is what I was going to say, right? Just because we value, I know a lot of people that value NQ way more. Like we barely look at ES, but I'm actually happy that we had some diversified little balance in there today. I like it because everybody just wants to come to me, yo, teach me Nasdaq, teach me Nasdaq. I have a few forex traders that I'm hyped to actually teach some other stuff on. Like I said, bro, I'm just so bored of Nasdaq. It's fun, or whatever. Man, we make a lot of money, but it's just getting bored. So the thing, right? You guys have some videos on gold coming. We got some videos about stocks. Just get creative. Like the algorithm that we speak of, like we do a lot of stuff here. And again, this being a 2022 model, right? And again, like I said, it's all liquidity that was available for you was already given to you. That's all I'm trying to say. And also to get you back on this, right? Let's make sure you understand this. Algorithms also, yes, we get it. Jay, why the fuck we didn't get to the 729 high? I thought we were going to get there, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but look also how long we spent time inside of our LV level. LV level has some other functions if you're not aware that we're going to speak about in our next video. But that video will not be on this. It will be on my members only on my Discord. So if you're not on my Discord, that's on you. But I just wanted to pop on and tell you again, like it's not about higher time frame arrays. It's really just on you understanding fucking liquidities. And also we're gonna talk more about like weekly profile, things like that. But yeah, let's talk more about stocks. Let's talk more about other markets. And get you guys prepared for the rest of this Q4. And like I said, mentorship starts next week. There are some spots left if you guys are interested, but it's not just it's not limited to just Discord members or whatever. But I would say like the biggest thing though is understanding again like AMD cycles. Like it's not just about fucking New York session. Like it's not just about Tuesday or Wednesday. Like there's more versions of a distribution cycle that you can use. However, taking advantage of that Q3 and Q4, by the time you get to Q1, you're going to want to take a break from trading for a little bit. Like, not like weeks at a time, but you get what I mean. Like, you're not going to be EA Sports, I'm in the fucking game, the same way you're in 3 and 4. Like, I'll lose sleep over 3 and 4. Let's put it that way. But, like, not Q1. I got some ways and stuff for you to trade that. And that's actually probably the most important mentorship. But we'll talk on this in the next video.
So I will see you guys later.